Bhante. Bhante means rice. Sammata means intoxication. So this sammata, intoxication produced by rice. This is applicable to Suramereya Majjapamadatthana precept. Right? A lot of people misunderstand Suramereya Majjapamadatthana precept is all about alcohol, but it's not. I think Sura, Mereya, these are two types of intoxications. So we normally understand Sura means fermented intoxication. And then and the second one is distilled intoxication, Mereya, strong drinks. This has a different level of alcohol, as you understand. Sura means fermented, mostly from rice, wheat flour and all that. So now you are vulnerable, you are far more susceptible to this one at this point. I hope you did not overeat, and otherwise you will catch Bhata Sammata very easily. Okay, that is not our discussion today, but I just made you think. Okay, so we left up the second aspect of the Metta Sutta, the practice of Metta. We said that we have to understand beings who we can see, who we cannot see, and also depending on the enlightenment status, those beings who are enlightened, who are unenlightened. Now we are going to the third category. We have to understand whether we have swindled, cheated on other people, or other people have cheated on us. At the same time, whether we have insulted other people, or other people have insulted on us. In two things, Vyarosana, Patika Sanya. Vyarosana means physical and mental discrimination. Physical and verbal discrimination. Patika Sanya is mental discrimination. As you can see here, Vyarosana, physical, and then physical and verbal, and Patika Sanya means mental. These words have been translated by normal people. Vyarosana means anger, Patika Sanya means ill will, and these are very literal translations. But in the text it says Vyarosana means this is a certain kind of discrimination people do through physical and verbal aspect. We will see how it works. In the practice of Metta, we have to be very careful whether we swindle, cheat, deceive other people in terms of our speech, in terms of our actions, in terms of our thoughts. That's number one. Number two is we have to make sure whether we insult anyone through physical, verbal, mental aspects. This is one aspect of this idea. On the other hand, other people may have done the same thing to us. Regardless of whether you have, whether other people have, you should be able to practice Metta to all the living beings. That is the plan here. And your wish is Nanya Manyasa Dukkha Michcheya. The meaning, let them not wish pain on each other. May nobody go through pain. May no one go through pain. It's a very interesting wish. Do the people who are cursing other people have this wish? They won't. Right? So you can't even think about a certain bad wish to someone. If you understand real metta, There are people who might do those wishes, bad wishes, and then say, no, 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 I do metta for the right people, for the wrong people, I might do that thing. But according to the Metta Sutta, we cannot do like that. Right? So now you understand the proper metta here. Vyarosana means physical and verbal discrimination in terms of cheating or insulting. Patika Sanya means physical and verbal discrimination in terms of insulting other people. Naparo paranni kubbeta, let no one deceive another. What is normally happening in our world? Are we always being cheated by other people? Don't think about your friends. Marketing culture, internet, buying products, buying organic things, buying different things in the market, shopping culture. How many times we've been scammed by others? We don't feel we've been scammed, but we already scammed by them. Why is it? Because deception is the slogan in their marketing culture. Right? And when it comes to our personal life, do we sometimes know we get cheated by our other people? If we are with Kalyana Mittas, we can trust them. But sometimes they may also cheat us. In particular, when people talk about cheating, they always go back to the relationships. Right? So cheating can happen. But the Buddha says, let no one deceive another. That means in the Buddhist culture, when maybe somebody that you know cheating on another person, you cannot approve it. If we are supposed to do this wish, we cannot help those cheaters to cheat on other people, because we have a very clear indication to wish, may nobody cheat another person. Nati manneta katta chinankanti, no frown upon, look down upon, put down on anyone, anywhere. That means we should not support anyone to look down upon, insult anywhere. Right? This is the real metta. Right? Real metta is this, in two types of discrimination: physical, verbal, mental. Finally, the greatest wish, let no one go through pain anytime. So I would call it as the higher level of our metta practice, which I showed you today with these perspectives. Bhavitaya, Bahulikataya, Yanikataya, Vattukataya, Anuttitaya, Parjitaya, Susamaradaya, the levels of our metta. When we develop our metta to those levels, then only we can go to this idea. Okay. On one side, we are not cheating, no insulting. At the same time, we don't let other people cheat another person, if possible. Make sure you are safe. Sometimes they're going to attack you. Be careful, making a safe gap, but you are doing those things. Nature of metta. What is the nature of metta? There are different people who talk about metta in their own understanding. The Buddha said, to understand the love that a young mother who has only one son, and this is a mundane love. This is not metta, right? Right? She has her own son, so she has a personal love for him. But the Buddha is asking to look at that example, and in that example, that mother loves the son unconditionally, defending the son anytime, whatever that son does, anything. In the same way, our metta, in order to go to those levels, yanikata, vattukata, anuttita, has to be unconditional. Right? It has to be. Mata yataniyang puttang ayusayika putta. I just go as a summary, otherwise we have no time for the Q&A. Fifth one is, when we practice metta, we have to understand the direction of metta as well. You can see here, for the whole universe, and then above, below, all around, boundless, without any enmity, anger. That's pretty interesting. Do we have metta for the beings in the hell? The beings who are in the hell now? We should have metta for them. We should have metta for all living beings. Sixth one is metta as the best attitude in our daily life. Tittang charang nisinnova sayanova yavatassa vigatamitu. Tittang means standing. That means whenever we stand, now you are sitting. Whenever you are standing, stand with metta. How to stand with metta? May all living beings well and happy. Right? There are a lot of triggers. Standing. Charang, walking. Every time when you walk, have this metta attitude when you walk. Nisinno, when you sit, have the metta attitude. Sayano, when you lie down. Yavatassa vigatamiddo, until you are awake. When you sleep, you can't practice metta. Yavatassa means as long as vigatamiddo, you are awake, then you are practicing metta. Etang sating aditteya, you are going to bring this mindfulness on metta. It is called Brahma Metang, highest attitude. I think that day is full of metta if somebody practices metta that way. Finally, metta practice takes you to become an enlightened person. Dittincha anupagama silava. When you practice metta, you need to lower unnecessary views. Do we have a lot of views about life, politics, religion, everything, right? We have to lower the views baggage. Sometimes we are into a very big argument with other people because we want to speak up about what we believe. We don't have to. In discussions, better to listen to other people and then ask something very short. Otherwise, if we are going to share everything what we know, then that can be a problem. At the same time, when you are living in your household life, other places, you don't need to pick up everything what other people talk in your household. Sometimes people pick up and then going to interpret, then there are other problems that are creating at the end. Silava, you have your practice discipline. Dassanena sampanno, now you are not creating unnecessary views, you are creating good views. 10 views, we understand sammaditthi. Kamesu vinaya keda. This is very interesting. When you practice metta, you will come to a point that you will overcome greed in regard to the kamas. Most translations say you have to overcome all the kamas. How to do that? The Pali sentence says vinaya gedham. Gedha means greed. Don't create greed for the kamas, because you are experiencing your own kamas. There are two types of kamas. What are the two types? There are two types of kamas. Sensual pleasures. No. Kama chanda is desire to enjoy kama. There are two types of kamas. Kama. One is, we call it kilesa kama. Other one is vattu kama. English translation is kama as a defilement, kama as an object. Let me explain to you. When we are living in our life with our sense faculties, we are always experiencing calmer moments. What do you call? Sights, sounds, smell, taste, touch, thoughts. So a lot of people are going through kilesa karmas. But some of them, they don't want to own them as an object. Let's say you want to eat something, but you may have that feeling, but you don't want to go and eat it. But there are people who have the kilesa karma who also want to go to vattu karma, own it as an object. I mean, unnecessary karmas. In other words, how many temptations are we going through? That is kilesa karma. But just because we are tempted, we are not going to do it. Right? If we do it, it will become a vattu karma. So, 2 karmas. Now, in the Metta Sutta it says, greed. That means, kamesu vinaya gedang. This gedang in terms of karma should be overcome. Karma is okay, but because kilesa karma, until you become an anagami person, you have karma. So, but don't develop greed in regard to the karma. And then try to attain Nibbana. This is the idea. Alright, and with that, we will go through. Okay. Buddha talks about angry person in many places. One sutta is Kodana Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 8.1. In Kodana Sutta, Buddha says that there are some people, when they have anger, the opposite of metta, they don't like to have a beautiful enemy. They don't like the enemy become beautiful, pretty, handsome. They don't like it. See? Sometimes the enemy doesn't like to have an enemy who sleeps at ease at night. My enemy also should wake up, stay up, shouldn't deserve a good sleep. Sometimes the angry people expect to have an enemy, another enemy, who have everything what they can get. They should not get everything they want to get, they expect. Enemy doesn't like, another enemy has wealth, publicity, friends, then good life in the next life. So there are 7 things. There are different people, different angry people. When they are troubled by anger, they don't know what they are doing. Finally, before we go to the Q&A, I want to share with you 11 benefits of Metta. Now you know how to practice Metta. Start with 15 skillful habits, 5 groups. According to the Metta Sutta, you are going to look at size, strength, enlightenment status, visibility, invisibility, nature. Take the example from that young mother, how she loves her son, and then the directions, and then the final goal of the Metta. When you are successfully looking at Metta practice, practicing that way, then you are able to benefit 11 things in your life. It's called another Metta Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 11.15. Sukhang Supati, you can sleep very easily. Sometimes we go to sleep, but we want to sleep, but we are not going to sleep. Right? Why is it? Maybe our emotional problem, grudges, anger, other problems are holding us all the time. Right? So that means the best sleep medicine is Metta. You don't need to take those sleep medicines which are not good to your body. If you practice Metta, sleep will come. Otherwise, you don't need to try sleeping. No? If you try to sleep, you won't sleep. Practice Metta, sleep will come to you naturally. Right? Second is that Sukhang Patibujjati, you wake up happily. Right? Some people wake up like a bomb, right? But they wake up very beautifully, very peacefully, very happily. That's a blessing. Being able to sleep easily, being able to wake up happily. They are blessings of practicing metta in the proper way for a certain period of time. Then you don't have bad dreams. Actually, every time we dream, we are kind of awake. Almost you are not going to see any dream. But don't lie to other people. Huh? Do you dream me or something? Huh? There are people, loud ones asking us. People lie. Yeah, I dreamed you the other day. Don't become a liar like that. Better not to dream. That means your mind is so clear, and sleep nice, peaceful. Fourth, humans metta you, manussanang piyo hoti. All the humans, they feel the good vibe of you. Wherever you go, they feel your metta, friendliness. Wherever you go, they feel very comfortable to talk to you, be friendly. Even non-humans metta you. Deva, Naga, Mahindika, they don't know you. Maybe you don't know them, but you feel somebody is protecting me. Somebody is giving me something, I don't know, but it's happening. Devata rakhanti, Deva protect you, same thing. Devas influence you, protect you. Seventh one, but don't try, huh? If you practice proper metta over the course of time, you may be not harmed by fire, poison or plague, right? Because of your metta power. But there is an exemption, the story of Samavati. The Samavati story, Samavati was burned to death by her co-queen called Magandiya. Right? But Samavati was informed by her other friends, but she said, we don't want to get out, we just die here. She was an enlightened person. But normally, you may feel that you are well protected by these attacks when you have the proper metta. But don't try. Right? Eighth one is tuvatang chittang samadhi. Your mind quickly enters concentration. You don't need to meditate a lot. The challenging part of the meditation is try to concentrate. But if you do the metta, concentration naturally arises. Benefits, right? Complementary benefits of metta. Free. How many people are having challenges while they are in meditation? They doze off, they cannot sit, a lot of things come to their mind, a lot of sannyas are going to take them more. Why? They don't have metta practice. Right? Then the ninth one is mukha vanno vipasidati. Your face is clear and bright. Now don't look at each other. But you have a very influential aura. People feel that, right? People feel it. It's a very it's something that is not visible to many of us. But when you have the true metta, other people can feel you. You are such a blessed person. Even by seeing you, they feel like things are happening in their life. Right? That is only happening with someone who has a lot of metta. Asam mulho kalam karoti. You will never die without being mindful. Now the other side of this thing is that there are people who believe when someone passes away in sleep, it should be a good thing. There are people who believe so. But according to this teaching, when we are sleeping, we have no mindfulness. We just sleep because our awareness is not by effort. It is just something happening within us, the subconscious mind. So we cannot stop death if it is going to happen while we are in sleep. But it is better to die mindfully. How to die mindfully? Being able to practice 4 satipatthanas along the metta practice. Vedana, Kaya Vedana, Chitta Dhamma Satipatthanas. Then one day when you die, you will die mindful. You have no voice. You have no regrets about it. A lot of people don't like to die not because of the pain, but they don't like to leave. Right? This is the problem. They will lose what they've been going through in this life. But You are such a confident person about what is happening to you. Yeah, death is inevitable. Death is not in the next life. It is part of this life. You understand? Death and life, they are part of this life. Death is not beyond this life. Right? So you understand death in a very, what you call, wise way, right? Rather than understanding death in a very pessimistic way. I have to go to the temple because I'm going to die. This might be the trigger, but that is not our way. We die when we go to the temple or not. But what we understand is what to do before I die. I also can experience my death happily. Right? So, dying without mindless. Last one. If you are not attaining Nibbana in this life, you will become a Brahma in the 5 pure lands. Suddhavasa, 5 pure lands. In the Brahma worlds, you will become enlightened over there. So these are very interesting benefits in the practice of Metta. Alright, any questions? We go to the Q&A. We have time, another probably 35 minutes before we go to the rest. So there is a mic over there. Our gentleman brother Lee will give you the mic, another mics, 2 mic. Take this mic too when you ask the question. You can raise your hand and go.
Yeah, oh there. I thought this is the mic, but it's not.
That's the mic for the recording. This is the mic, yeah.
So, Bhante, you mentioned that we have 3 types of sanya, which will hamper our progress to doing metta, which is someone not helping us, someone.
Can you take the mic closer to the mic? Yeah.
Someone not support us enough, and someone helping our enemy. So how about a relative who try to covet your wealth, for example? So, I mean, that will also create challenge to developing metta. And I read somewhere that we have to do a gradual metta where you start with someone you can love us, and then neutral, and then we
yeah. Process is correct. What I said was that Buddha said there are 3 sources of some people's anger. There may be more sources. One thing is that our loved ones did not help us at all. Second source is our loved ones didn't help enough, and our loved ones help our enemies, people that we have as enemies. So you said you have a relative, or somebody has a relative
who covet or want your wealth, for example, and it's very difficult for you to also generate metta to them.
It might be difficult when you think about what she did, because you are creating a certain attachment to what she did and the stuff, the wealth, right? But according to these teachings, Metta Sutta, we are going to understand the nature of the human beings, sentient beings. Sentient beings can anytime become evil. So we are trying to understand that. And by understanding if it is a legal issue, that is a different part. But if you are trying to overcome that thing, you can think about that. She did that. So we have to be careful if we are going to work together with her. But I cannot exclude her in my metta practice.
That part is difficult.
That part on the surface may be difficult. But we have to do it.
For our
Because
sake or for the person's sake? Or for our sake?
for our sake, yeah, for your own sake,
So,
for your own benefit, yes. Because we are practicing Dhamma initially for us, and then it is helping other people. Huh?
maybe a second question since I'm already here. You mentioned that Metta is one of the Brahma Viharas towards enlightenment. Is it singly or you need to practice together with other?
Well, according to the Attakanagara Sutta, Metta alone is helpful, but it is said in that sutta, these 11 ways, when you practice one of these 11 ways, at a certain point, you have to shift your metta or karuna or mudita or upekkha into anicca perspective. Anicca. So, but you are going to anicca perspective through metta or through karuna or through mudita or through upekkha. So, starting with metta, carrying on, but at a certain level of that metta, you bring anicca into. How do you bring that? My metta practice also anicca, because time to time I get some obstructions and I understand that, and you are shifting that onto anicca.
That led me to a third question. So you mentioned about, because I learned elsewhere that you develop metta and use the joy to help propel in your anapanasati, right? But here it is the other way around. You do anapanasati first and then metta.
Can you repeat again the first part? Other places?
So I have like attended other places where they ask us to use metta to generate joy or energy to feel anapanasati, to give energy to anapanasati. But here, Bhante is asking us to do anapanasati first and then metta.
No, not I'm asking, I'm quoting from the suttas. Because Anapanasati is the framework of all the meditations. With Anapanasati, we are trying to calm us. Calmness is the main purpose of Anapanasati. We are not going too serious on Anapanasati at that point. We do a little bit and calm us, then we are going to shift that Anapanasati into metta. That is a better way. That is a very workable way. Otherwise, you can start with metta also. You can start with metta and then go to breathing. But better to start with anapanasati. Any meditation. If you want to do any other meditation types, start with breath meditation. That is the focal meditation. Even the Buddha became Buddha by practicing anapanasati. So we can understand our own breathing, our emotions, everything through anapanasati. But when we continue, when we feel we are concentrated enough, then only we shift onto the metta. That's better. That is more workable. That's why I introduced that.
Okay, thank you.
Right. There's somebody else coming.
Bhante. No, just talking about the 4 different types of snakes, right? Just now in the discourse.
Can you take this mic closer?
Oh, okay. So my question is, I often get questions from friends as well, especially ladies, around cockroaches and lizards in the house. So the suttas talks about snakes, but we don't see snakes in our condos and houses anymore, although some houses do see snakes. So what happens when we encounter cockroaches and lizards, and how do we treat them the same way as per sutta suggested around snakes? Yeah.
Okay, good. Suttas don't tell us why cockroaches and cobras come into our house. Suttas don't tell why they come, how they come. Suttas say what to do with them. Right? Then if the suttas don't deal with why they come, how they came in, that is our part. Right? Maybe our house is not properly covered close enough. So I will stick from the rats. They come into, maybe our house is a little bit dirty and food is everywhere and not clean. Maybe we are not doing preparatory things, we spraying some stuff for them to feel bad about it, so they won't come. So I think the good way to look at it is that not that mosquito is coming to my hand and what do I do to the mosquito? Right? Oh, mosquito is coming, should I kill or not? Rather than addressing that question, why is the mosquito here? Maybe these doors are not properly closed. Maybe somebody is not doing the task properly, right? Now, Buddhism always go back to the cause and trying to understand the bigger mess in that problem. Stop it from there. And also on the other side, look at the problem from the result-oriented perspective. That means now, sadly speaking, lizards have come to that person's house, not your house. Lizards, those tiny animals. And there is a sutta somewhere in the canon. Buddha says we have to practice metta to lizards. Sarabu, Musika, very interesting sutta. And then tiny animals. So, what we can do is that, let's say, if you can really handle them, maybe the number, yeah, yes, the number of such animals are quantifiable. Then you can bring them outside, and then just we don't need to kill. But what if there is a house where the people are very irresponsible? Rats have made a mess in the whole house now. Now it has come to a level that whether we let rats to live or we live in the household. At that time we have to definitely contact the pest control. Right? So better to look at that question from a background of whether we do the necessary things to prevent the animals coming into our house. I think that is a good way to look at that question. And if you can catch them and then put them outside, that is also option if they have already come in. If there are a number of animals like that you can't handle, so you have to do something.
So if the mosquito bite already something like that, can kill first, then only talk about later.
So you are taking the question very late. The question is, why did the mosquito come? How did he come into the house?
Chicken first or chicken egg first? Something like that.
I think when you look for answers from Buddhism, we have to look at very peaceful ways to handle these things. So better that we are doing the preparatory necessary things for these things. Especially now there are a lot of ways to avoid. Maybe you can spray a mosquito repellent thing onto your body. So I don't think mosquitoes will come. And you are going to make sure that you are closing the doors and windows before a certain time, right? So I think the responsibility will help you a lot to minimize these questions. I think all these, let's say someone is drinking tea, sugary stuff, but never washes that cup, just leave it in the sink because of his or her irresponsibility. And then after 1 or 2 hours, there are lots of ants piling up into the cup, then asking, should I kill them or not? I'm asking, whose responsibility is this? Somebody is responsible. He or she has to learn something over here. So Buddhism looks at this kind of question in a very healthy way for both of us, for the animals and for us. That would be the way to look at it. So we can still carry on our metta. That's the answer at the end, to lizards or any other rats, right? Because they all are living a sansaric life, although they are small. Alright, any other questions about metta? Please take the other mic too. Yeah. This way.
Bhante, by practicing...
Can you turn the mic a little bit down? Yes.
Bhante,
Yes. Take this mic closer too. Yes.
Bhante, by practicing Metta, is it possible to help a sick member, a sick child, family member, they are practicing Metta sincerely? Is it possible to help a sick child?
Is it possible to
Help,
sick child?
yes.
Can you repeat again the whole question?
Family member
Family member.
practice Metta sincerely, wholeheartedly. Is it possible to help a sick child?
Sick child to recover?
Yes, yes.
Why not? Yeah, definitely the child can get benefited. Yes. But there are things why sometimes our chanting is not materialized. Don't think that every chanting is going to materialize. Sometimes they are partially materialized, realized. Sometimes they are fully materialized. The reason is that the person who is chanting has to chant with lots of compassion for the person who is going to the chanting, listening to the chanting. That is number one. Number two is if the person who is listening to the chanting understands what the chanter is saying, that is much better. Right? And there are other times 100, 200 people get together, they chant together, think about one person's health problem. That is also powerful. They all are powers. Right? That's why group chanting is very good also. 200, 300, 500 people get together, they think about one intention. Yeah, so definitely it helps. Yes, but we don't know the sickness, but at least there are, it helps differently, different people. Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay, Bhante, I got one question. Every time I radiate the Metta, instead of 5 group, I do extra for the all living creatures, such as pets, animals, and stray. Okay, is that correct? And another question is, when one day I visiting a relative house, they got one very fierce dog. So the dog is keep on wanted to attack me. Then after that, I do radiate the Metta to him. I thought he's tame already. I try to stroke his head, and he bite me. Is my Metta not enough, or the dog have some problem?
Okay, the first question is that whether pets have to be included in addition to the 5 categories. But pets are included. When you say all living beings, pets, animals, all are included. Second is that don't try to take a chance with Metta sometimes. Now let's say, who would like to try out your Metta with a cobra? That's such a very bad initiative, you know. We don't have to. I think when you are dealing with a dog, a fierce dog, we should understand the repercussions, right? We don't want to go and to check our Metta, whether the fierce dog is going to be down to us, right? So better you should follow the common sense at that point. Common sense. I think we cannot say we cannot take it from the Metta practice. When you're dealing with these animals, better to take the common sense. But I don't think that you can take it from Metta. Right? Sometimes we do a lot of Metta. Some very bad individuals, they never feel it. very, very bad individuals, right? Like Devadatta, some other animals also. So it is not your problem. I think it is that you did not pay attention to the common sense of how to deal with that kind of a pet. And then the lesson is that never do it that again. Yeah, never do it again, because that's not what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante, for the meaningful sharing about Metta, especially the 15 skillful ways. Something I have not heard before. Most of the time I hear is the 11th one, what you benefit, but I've not heard of how we should prepare ourselves when we want to really Metta. Thank you. This question is a difficult question, but I just want to know whether it is a good question. You were saying about this person meditating, and he has given words to say, please don't disturb me when I'm meditating. So one day a snake came, and his friends, even though he knows that it's dangerous, but they didn't stop the snake or warn him, because they were told not to disturb him, and because of that he died. I was thinking, if I were that person, I would either call him, hey, there's a snake, quickly run out, or I will do something if the snake is really attacking. What do you think, Bhante? Thank you.
Well, I didn't hear the second part of what happened to him, how it happened to him.
I would like to know, when the snake came to the room, and his friends didn't warn him that there is a snake, because the friends were told not to disturb this person. And then the snake came, and he didn't know, and he died.
Okay.
Bitten
So
by the snake.
friends did not alert to him that the snake came. Yeah.
Personally, I feel we should do something. If I were the person, I would call out and say, hey, there's a snake. You either die or you run or something like that. So
the question?
The question is, Bhante, what should we do actually? Do we let the snake bite the person, or we just shake our hand off? He already said, well, don't disturb him, let him die, like he deserves it. You know, I can imagine that kind of question coming to the mind. Thank you.
Okay. Are you asking, are we supposed to let that kind of a snake bite someone? No, I don't think so. We have to protect. We understand the pain and then danger. That's why in the meditation I said, may I free from danger, may I free from harm. May all livings free from danger, harm. So how are we going to put it into practice? Not even that, not even from the snakes. Sometimes we see there are people who are trying to bully other people. If we can, we're going to stop it. Don't do this. This is not nice. Sometimes we see some people are scolding others. If we can do something, we can do it. So I think, ideally speaking, the friends should have alerted him that, but it didn't happen. That's the Buddhist way.
Yeah. Bhante, I think I have read a similar story for the one Bhante died by cobras bite in the Buddha's time, right? Similar incident I have read. Similar, there's one Bhante's room, one cobra was there then while meditation and get killed the Buddha's time, and similar Jataka stories there, right?
There are many Jataka stories with the snake. But there's a very interesting Jataka story that happened Buddha's time. Some monks told others in the temple that we caught a snake, we put him in a pot. There was one monk who wanted to take life during that time due to the inability of attaining Nibbana. So there were monks at that time, during Buddha's time, who want to die, commit suicide due to their inability to attain Nibbana. So he thought, this is a good way. When other monks left the room, I want to go there, I want to put my hand into that pot. So he went there when others are not there. So he put inside, he feels the hood of the cobra, but nothing happened. Then he tried to open the mouth of the cobra, nothing happened too. Then they told the other monks, this is not a cobra, maybe a rattlesnake. You have misunderstood. Then they informed the Buddha. Buddha said, it is a cobra. But this cobra was this monk's mother for many lifetimes. She understood. She will never bite him. But you go and put your hand into that pot. Definitely you would have bitten by him. Yes, so there are very interesting stories, karma stories too. Now don't try to try it out. You have some mothers and fathers in the form of snakes, That's too terrible, Yes.
Yeah, then I want to add something. Actually, today we discussed many about the animals also. I think the most dangerous animal is the human. Then one practical thing, this one sister asked about this dog thing. Actually, I have experience technically and scientifically. Dog can see only black and white. It is very difficult if any dogs coming towards you. If you can keep steady without any part of the body moving, it can't see. I have experience, but it's very difficult because I have one of the major houses. Lot of dogs came. Somehow I could follow them because I have learned before. First day I am the only person who has go inside the land area, and so if anybody, right? For example, you can practice your house, your pet dog, right? Without seeing that, you call, and if you keep without moving your body, it can't see.
Yeah.
Then it will get the smell and come near, but it can't bite. Only the movement parts only dog can see. So it's a technical thing, you can practice it. Thank you.
So the answer to your question in other ways is, don't move metta. When you actually, dogs, when many dogs come to you, if you don't move, stay still, they come and sniff you and they go normally. But if you run, they think it's prey. So I think the question here is that don't try to check your metta with animals. That is not a good thing. Unless it happen automatically. But don't try to go and check with them. They are not humans initially. So they have their own instinct, they have their own nature. So we have to respect that. So if you go and try your metta with them, that means you have not properly understood Metta Sutta also. Because Metta Sutta Buddha says, understand different animals, snake groups. So when we know, we don't do that. That's a dangerous thing. Right? Yes.
Good afternoon, Bhante. Actually, I'm very moved by how you could have maybe your friend or relatives or whatnot that comes to you in animal form. But what I'm trying to say is, I've been attracted rather to rescue like puppies, stray puppies and all that. And once I get hold of them, it's very difficult to just let go. I need to find a home, So what I'm saying is, why are all these strays come attracted to me or come through my path? And also, I believe that, I don't really practice meditation and all that, but I think with that positive thoughts radiating out, to get people who would like to adopt. I am now having a little puppy that we rescued about 4 weeks ago. 2 of the sisters died, but that's the only one surviving. So we're trying to get all sorts of ways to find the right owner. So what I'm trying to say is, one fine day, my friend said, could you come and help me, well, which I suggested to her, plant a plant where she buried her dog. So I went along, and at the same time, I opened up the subject like, hey sister, would you like to adopt a puppy? And instantly she said yes. So what I'm trying to say is, by radiating, I've got two questions here, Bhante. One question is, why am I always being attracted, or rather come into the path of stray animals and all that? And number two, I just want to say that by radiating positive energy, to get help, basically, for someone to adopt the dogs. Well, there are many sources that comes who wants to adopt, but we feel that they are not the right person until just 2 days ago, and I'm just helping to help her do something in memory of her dog and ask that question, and she said, yes, I'll adopt a puppy. Thank you.
Second question?
No, second question is, what I'm saying is, yeah, I know it's by radiating good thoughts. It might not come immediately. Yeah, it takes about 4 weeks for this little puppy, but eventually it came, and that's the time when you want to help someone, and I believe that positive thoughts and all that attract that friend of mine. And at the same time, when I opened up the question of would you like to adopt a puppy, and she said yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. It's very clear that animals, they can feel an affinity to certain individuals, thinking that this person is going to be compassionate towards them. So you may have seen this in other examples, such as you are a dog lover and you are going to a house where there are dogs far away. Instantly dogs welcome you. Dogs or other animals, they welcome you. They can feel your aura. Yeah, so that is how we look at it. Yeah. Yes.
Bhante,
Yes.
I have a question about Metta, about cheating.
Cheating.
So if let's say you know of a cheater cheating on a friend or whoever, is it right to inform the friend or just let it be?
Okay, so that means you know that your friend is being cheated by somebody else,
Yep.
and you know the both.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is the best thing to do?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. So the answer to that question is that it depends on the situation. Sometimes there may be, if you are going to tell this, there may be different other issues coming up. If you think that it is not going to happen a scene, very big scene, but if you think that your friend is always being cheated, you can secretly, you can make that in a proper way. But if you know that your friend has nowhere to go, nothing to do, and it is breakup, divorce will tend to a different thing, that can be a different other thing. So better to do analysis about the telling the truth to that person, and then think about whether I should tell it or not, maybe delay it for some time. Sometimes this can be really terrible. It can be violent as well. So we have to know the situation and then to make it. Yeah. But we should never encourage somebody to cheat on another person. That is common sense. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Bhante, Dhamma brothers and sisters. Further to the question of metta kindness to animals, I have saved 3 kittens, which eventually become my pet cats, and also feeding some stray cats. Now, what concerns me is my cats. They like to catch rats. They go elsewhere, catch the rats and bring it to my house. Sometimes they catch the lizard, sometimes they catch birds. Even the stray cats, they go somewhere, bring the fish to my house. So it makes me feel very guilty, as if I'm encouraging them to kill, even though it's not my doing. But by looking after them, they go and kill. So what should I do?
Okay, as a part of the Metta Sutta, we are supposed to understand different beings. One is understanding the size of the beings, understanding their nature of the beings. Now, just because you felt metta towards certain animals, in this case cats, it does not preclude them to be natural the way how they have been existing. Cats don't know catching a rat, catching a fish is a bad karma. They are living in their life. So, although we look at it from a different perspective, but it is not that you encourage them to do it. That is their nature. But if you think it is preventable in a way, you can't put them inside and close the door, right? They may be living out. They are outdoor cats. Huh? They must be outdoor cats. So then, yeah. But I think when you decided, the moment you decided you want to take care of cats, you should have understood this also might happen.
Yeah, but
because that is their nature.
Correct. But then if we are talking about rebirth, this cat, when they do killing, I mean, isn't that they also incurred bad karma?
It depends. Cats don't know whether what they do is bad karma. Normally, a cat can become a different person, a human, not because of what he or she does as a cat. Depends from the previous lives. Yeah.
Thank you. But is there anything I can do, like any prayer that I should say, I mean, for the dead rats or anything like that?
Maybe you can buy some replicas. Replicas of fish, rats. They might like it.
They don't like it.
Maybe if you think they listen to you, do a change with them. Just talk to them. Talk to them and then distract them.
Sometimes I do. I mean, I just tell my cat, you don't kill the rat. Huh?
No, that might not work. Just try to distract them. Distract them.
It's difficult because they go elsewhere to find the rat and bring it here. So I don't know when they bring it.
Yeah. Now they have been very used to that culture. Go out of the house and then we cannot do that much. Yes. Yeah. So what I say is that, like the mosquito example. Now mosquitoes have already come in. So we have to do the necessary at that point. The better thing is to understand when you are going to raise a cat, we should expect these situations, right? We should expect that. So I think you have to look at it from a different, higher perspective. That means cats are by nature hunting other animals. But if you think you are very close to them, you can talk to them, just distract them. You can distract them if you are very able.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Okay, good. Right, so we can take, yes. We can take another question after, Sister. Right, yeah.
Good afternoon, Bhante.
Yes.
Thank you for the Metta teaching. It's kind of encouraged me to try this practice. I have two questions regarding the skillful habits. So I'm not very clear about the Subaru and the Kulesu Ana Nugido. So my understanding about Subaru is that we are easily supportable, compromise, and we make good sacrifice. So, but in a social settings, if let's say let's say we have been asked for opinions and suggestions, and then we just say we go with the flow.
This one go mute there and they can record properly. This one.
Yeah, I can hear. Don't worry. Yes.
It says that we have been asked for opinions or suggestions, and then we just go with the flow. So doesn't that deem us as a person with no opinions, no standing? So that was my first question.
Okay, that means at times we don't want to voice out, we just go with the flow because we don't want to offend we kind of compromise, sacrifice for the group.
Yeah,
Okay.
just go with the flow.
Okay.
So it actually happens in my case. I just say, I'll go with the flow. And
Yeah.
say, how come you don't have an opinion? So I really
Can you give me a certain example? Like what kind of situation is that?
It's actually very, not very important situation. Maybe a suggestion to go somewhere to eat.
Restaurant. Okay,
Yeah.
restaurant.
Just
That means, so you've been doing that. Have you felt that you've not been able to speak up for what you want to eat? Okay.
So it's actually all what I feel, not what they feel.
Yeah. So you're letting other people feel I'm a good example of Subaru. I mean, I'm Subaru, you know. But there are other people who like to eat something, but they don't voice it out. So they are always the guinea pig of somebody else in that group. They take you to that shop and this shop. So you are asking that nature?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you think you are okay, you don't have a specific dietary expectation, food expectation. That means you have less craving about the food.
Yes.
I mean, which I understand at this point. I think that is a very good way to look at Subaru.
Yeah,
But it doesn't mean that everybody else should compromise their food habits to other people. They have to discuss, they have to negotiate. Yeah.
Yes, I can understand that. Thank you. So the other one is is it like not wanting to mingle or socializing in a group? Is that the meaning?
Kulesu ananugiddo. Actually, giddo again is greed.
Not being greedy to be in one group. Step up.
Yeah. Being greedy to socialize. We have to socialize, but there are people who are greedy to socialize. They really want it all the time.
Okay. Because I'm confused with wanting to socialize, and then sometimes we just don't want to socialize so much. Just not like cutting ourselves off completely from a group, but not get into whatever they are doing so much.
Yeah.
So this
sometimes better to stay away from others, just to have a me time, personal time, just to reflect. Yeah. So socializing is okay. We have to. Otherwise, we will have lots of stress and depression. We can't be beings like that. But you should know your limit. And you should not be greedy for that. Like,
got it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right.
Last question.
All right. One more question. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante. I'd like to find out, there are 5 groups to do the metta, and one of the group is about challenging people or enemies. So if during their sessions, normally I don't know what, or I only do 4 without the enemies, that I can't think of any. So do we still have to add in the enemy to make it generally I have to say, or do I have to identify the enemy to do this metta? My question. First question. Okay. The second question is, I think it's quite common that, sometimes we don't bother with the person who is maybe challenging or not in frequency with me. We just let it be and let it be. That's it. You do your thing, I'll do my things. Or do we have to do metta to include them? Is it a must in our journey to do that? Or we just mind your own business, you take care of your things and let them be what they want to be or to choose to be. Because in Mangala Sutta is for us to really be associated with the wise and not the fool. If they are the fool, I just let them be and I better do my things. Am I doing the wrong thing by ignoring them? Or should I have to add them in my metta to complete my journey? Or is there something missing, or let them be? So please guidance on that. Thank you.
Okay, interesting.
Thank you.
Actually, the problem is not with the people.
Yeah.
Now here the problem is not with the people. Problem is with our sanya, where our anger is lying. It's not with the people. Right? Because let's say there are XYZ people, those people. We don't bother about XYZ people. We bother about the sanya we have made for each one of them within us. And yeah, that's what's happening. So those sanyas are trying to consume us, trying to burn us all the time. So the first question, enemies. Actually, we are not supposed to have any enemy. We don't need to have. And also in the metta practice, we didn't say enemies. We said challenging one, difficult ones. Yeah. So.
Just the problem. Is it something missing and not complete?
I think as unenlightened beings, we may have encountered challenging people, and I think definitely it's common sense, it's normal to feel, but we don't take it. I mean, the level, the range of difficult, challenging people to each one is different. There may be someone who is always struggling with a very, challenging one every day, from morning to evening. House, maybe workplace, maybe outside. There may be somebody who is struggling with someone in the shift with the work with that person. There's a worker who goes to work, but in that shift, if that person is going to take the same shift, they're going to struggle. So, depends. It depends on the level of the challenging, difficult nature. So we have it more or less. So we just normally say, may all the, because now if you say that you haven't had any problem with challenging ones, if you haven't created any bad sanya, if you have no bad memory about challenging, difficult ones, then it should be okay. But normally, every time we go through a bad experience, we are creating a sanya onto that bad experience that has become a sanya afterwards. So definitely then adding that layer is beneficial, but not to think that they are enemies. They are not enemies, they are difficult ones, challenging ones to us. So we have to just give metta to them too. Sometimes we have no anger, they have anger towards us. Things like that can happen too. They are very angry about us. We have never met also. Right? They are very angry. We hear from the third person that someone else is bad-mouthing about you. So how to do? They have already become our difficult, challenging one. For us, they are not difficult, challenging. So we, finally what we can think is that we may not be able to change the people, but we are able to change our sanyas, Rupa Vedana sanya. This is what we are supposed to do. Because we are creating a separate document for everybody, a sanya document in our mindset. So we have to clear it out. Otherwise, that corrupted sanya will take us over in the long. Identify our sanya, not the person. We are not meeting that person maybe anymore. We are not meeting, we are not dealing with them, even we see maybe high and by. So we don't have to worry about that person in person. What we have to worry is that what is the perception I created about this person within us. Sometimes people are not here, they passed away. Look at that example. Now once I got somebody who molested someone, family member, and that person passed away already, long time, 15 years ago, but still having anger towards that person. How I should have not been molested by this person. This person already passed away. He won't come back again. So you have to change your sanya, because it's not good for you. It happened, it's not good for you.
So it's neither nor. We see this issue, sanya with fear of perception.
Yeah, we try to do a investigation about our sanya, those sanya, particular sanya, our memories, sort it out, and then let it go. That's what we do. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Yes. I think we are almost going to lose our time. Yes, you have a question? Can you repeat again? Yeah.
So you clear it out while you're in meditation mood and let it going, or should you just clear it out by when you're not in meditation but in a normal reflective mood?
I think that kind of a deep observation can be well done during the meditation. You can see it as it is. When you see it, you can do it in normal life too. After that, yeah. All right, last question, please. Yes.
Bhante, I want to thank these two guys. They are so helpful. These two. Whenever we pray, we always say to all living beings, and then sometimes we say sentient beings. Can you today clarify sentient beings mean what? Living beings or formless or anything? And then living beings, do they include the ghosts? I think it's good for you to tell us all, because sometimes people asking me, so what's the difference? So Bhante is here, you explain, thank you.
Yeah. When we say sentient beings, that includes all living beings which we can see, which we cannot see. They all are included. They all are included. Although we don't know particularities of non-human beings a lot, but we have to visualize, not them in pictures, photos, that they are existing. We are going to do metta for them. All right, I think now we are a little bit behind the time because of the schedule. So we are taking a rest. Rest has to be, would have been 2 to 2:15. We're taking